So, dear students, in this session, let us take a few problems on the chapter units and measurements. Particularly, since you will not get any problems for board examination, I'll be taking the problems from NCERT itself. I'll solve all the example problems of NCERT. These problems obviously will not appear in your board exam, but solving these problems will help you in solving the problems of competitive exams. First problem is as follows. Calculate the angle of 1 degree, 1 minute of arc, which is also called as arc minute, and 1 second of arc or 1 arc second in radians. Use 360 degree is equal to 2 pi radians, 1 degree is equal to 60 seconds, and 1 minute is equal to 60 second arc. So, this is a question based on conversion. The quantity given to convert or quantities given are as follows. The first quantity is degree, 1 degree. The second quantity given with is 1 minute, which is also called arc minute or minute of an arc. And third is 1 second, which is called second of an arc or arc second. So, these are the three quantities which are asked to convert from degree, minute of an arc, second of an arc to radians. They have also given what to use for the conversion. Even though they did not give this, we should make use of the same factor and convert the quantities. So this is what is going to be useful for us. We all know that 360 degree is equal to 2 pi radians. Okay, 360 degree is equal to 2 pi radians. So what is 1 degree equal to? Here pi represents 3.142 or 22 by 7. So 1 degree is equal to 2 pi by 360 radian. What is this value? Solve for this. 2 into 3.142 divided by 360. Make use of calculator and obtain it. You should make use of the calculator and obtain the value. Keep that here. Okay. It's actually given in NCERT. The same solution I am making here. But you should make use of calculator, simple calculator to solve this. And hence finally you will get 1 degree is equal to, just a minute, let me solve it. It's going to be 0.0174, 0.0174 radians, which can also be expressed as 1 degree is equal to 1.7412 into 10 to the power of minus 2 radians. That's it. Very simple solution for the question A. Moving ahead for the sub question B, now we need to get what is 1 minute arc or 1 arc minute expressed in terms of radians. What is given? 1 degree, 1 degree is equal to 60 seconds is the conversion between degree and, 1 degree is equal to 60 minute. Okay, if I put a single line like this, then it's going to represent minute. If I put 2 dashes or 2 lines like this, that will represent seconds. 1 degree is equal to 60 minutes, which makes 1 minute is equal to 1 by 60 degree, right? 1 minute is equal to 1 by 60 degree. So it's 1 by 60 into 1 degree. What is 1 degree equal to? So, this is 1 by 60 degree. Now, converting this into radians, 1 by 60 into 1.74 into 10 to the power of minus 2 radians. Following? So, this is 1 by 60 degree. Now, 1 degree is equal to 1.74 into 10 to the power of minus 2 radians. So, that is why now it is degree here, and after conversion it is radians here. So, 1 minute is equal to, let me solve for it, make use of calculator. It is going to be 1.74 divided by 60, 0.029 into 10 to the power of minus 2, 0.029 into 10 to the power of minus 2 radians. And if I simplify this, I can also express this as 2.9 into 10 to the power of minus 4 radians. So, 1 minute is equal to 2.9 into 10 to the power of minus 4 radians. This is the conversion for the second sub question. Moving ahead, the third sub question asks us to convert 1 second into, or express 1 second in radians. So, 1 second is, what is given? 1 minute is equal to 60 seconds is what is given. It is actually arc second or arc minute. Okay. 1 arc minute is equal to 60 arc seconds. That is what is given, and that is the conversion. 1 arc minute is equal to 60 arc seconds, which makes 1 arc second, okay, shift the LHS and RHS. 1 arc second is equal to 1 by 60 arc minutes, isn't it? So, 1 by 60, what is 1 arc minute equal to? 1 arc minute is equal to, here, 1 arc minute expressed in terms of radians is 2.9 into 10 to the power of minus 4 into 2.9 into 10 to the power of minus 4, which is equal to, so it is 2.9 divided by 60, and the value is 0.0483, 0.0483 into 10 to the power of minus 4 radians. Okay. So, 1 second, it is not simply second, 1 arc second is equal to, again I will shift it. So, it is 4.83 into 10 to the power of minus 6 radians. That is it. We have all the conversions for the given questions, 3 sub questions, and we have solved all the 3 sub questions as follows. Okay, the next question, example 2.2 is as follows. A man wishes to estimate the distance of a nearby tower from him. He stands at a point A in front of the tower C and spots a very distinct object O in the line with AC. He then walks perpendicular to AC up to B, a distance of 100 meter, looks at O and C again. Since O is very distinct, the direction of BO is practically the same as AO, but finds the line of C shifted from the original site by an angle theta is equal to 40 degree. Here theta is known as parallax or parallax angle. Estimate the distance of the tower C from his original position A. So here is the problem where we have a tower C. Okay. So now a man wishes to estimate the distance from his position to the tower, to a tower. Say this is the tower which is at point C, okay, which means the tower has certain height. The person is not bothered about the height of the tower. Instead, he wants to find the distance from his position, which is A according to the problem, isn't it? A man wishes to estimate the distance of nearby tower from him. This is the nearby tower, and this is the position of the person, which is A, and this is the position of the tower, which is C. Spots a very distinct object in the line. Okay, he also spots a very distinct object. Okay, very distinct object at a position O. Okay, he and very O in the line with AC. Okay, so this is the reference that he is taking, the O1, and C is the tower, A is the person. Now, what the person did is he then walks perpendicular to AC. Okay, this is the line AC, and the person walks perpendicular to AC up to B, up to a point which is called B, at a distance of 100 meter. Okay, and looks at O and C again. From this position, he looks at O again, and he also looks at C. Since O is a very distinct object, the direction of BO practically the same as of AO. See, if we are looking at a very distinct object like moon, if we stand at this point and move a distance of 1 kilometer and look at the moon again, the direction practically remains the same, because the distance of moon from earth is very large compared to the distance that we move, which is very small. 1 kilometer is also very small distance compared to the distance of earth from moon. So the direction of BO practically remains same, almost remains same. So here you need to imagine that O is very distinct object, but the direction of BC will no longer be same as AC. So if I draw a line BC this time, but finds the line of sight of C shifted, by original sight AC. When the person stands at this point, the line of sight is AC. When the person walks to point B and looks at C, the line of sight is BC. And now, the angle between these two lines is given, which is theta is equal to 40 degree. And here theta is known as parallax. And now what we need to do is we need to estimate, the distance of the tower C from his original position A. So AC has to be estimated for the given question. AC is equal to question mark. Now we have angle C. So from the given data, I can write the expression for tan theta. Tan theta is given by opposite by adjacent, which is AB by AC, isn't it? So for the given right angle triangle, obviously this is the right angle triangle because AC is perpendicular to AB. Tan theta is AB by AC. What we need to calculate is AC. So AC is equal to AB by tan theta. What is AB equal to? AB is equal to 100 meter. divided by tan theta is 40 degree. Now let me calculate it. What is tan 40 equal to? And then put the value to get AC. So I've done the calculations. Tan 40 is 0.839. How to obtain this value? You have to make use of log table, not scientific calculator. Scientific calculator is not allowed. So tan 40 is 0.839. 100 by 0.839 is going to be 119.19 meter. So AC is nearly equal to 119.19 meter. Very simple calculation, and this is based on trigonometry and parallax method. Okay. Next, the third question, example 2.3. This question is also based on parallax method. The question is as follows. The moon is observed from two diametrically opposite points A and B on Earth. The angle theta subtended at the moon by the two directions of observations is 1 degree 54 minutes, arc minutes. Given the diameter of the Earth to be about 1.276 into 10 to the power of 7 meter. Compute the distance of moon from the Earth. So the data is as follows. Here is the Earth and say here is moon, and from two diametrically opposite points A and B on the surface of Earth, we observe the moon, and the angle subtended at the moon by these two lines is 1 degree 54 arc minutes. The diameter of the Earth, this value is given to be 1.276 into AB. This value is given 1.276 into 10 to the power of 7 meter, diameter of the Earth. Now this is theta, and this is going to be small d, and the distance from the Earth to moon is going to be capital D, which has to be found now. D is equal to question mark. Clear? Very easy. So S is equal to R theta, so small d is equal to capital D theta, right? That is what is the formula that we are going to make use of. But before we go for this formula, we should keep, let me write the given data. We should always write the given data first. So theta is 1 degree 54 arc minutes, which has to be expressed in terms of radians. Then only we should solve this after putting the value into the expression small d is equal to capital D theta. So 1 degree 54 minutes should be converted into radians. Let me convert it. I have converted it. So 1 degree 54 minutes has to be converted into radians. 1 degree is 60 minutes. So 1 degree 54 minutes together is 114 minutes. 60 minutes from this 1 degree and plus 54 minutes, 114 minutes. Now this 114 minutes into 60 seconds, okay, 114 into 60 seconds. Why am I converting it into seconds again? I am supposed to convert this into radians. I am not doing so. The reason is, I first want to convert this into seconds and then into radians from using the conversion of seconds to radians. Okay. So 114 into 60 seconds, the same angle. Next 114 into 60 into 4.85 into 10 to the power of minus 6 radians. This is the conversion factor 4.85 into 10 to the power of minus 6 for converting angle from seconds to radian. So make use of calculator and you will get theta is equal to 3.32 into 10 to the power of minus 2 radians. Okay, that's it. You have the value of theta now. But what we actually need is capital D, and from the formula capital D is equal to small d by theta. What is small d equal to? Small d is the diameter of the earth, which is 1.276 into 10 to the power of 7 divided by theta. What is theta? Theta is 3.32 into 10 to the power of minus 2. Again, make use of calculator and hence obtain the value of capital D, which you will get as 3.84 into 10 to the power of 8 meter. 3.84 into 10 to the power of 8 meter. So this is the value of capital D, which is the distance of earth to moon. Okay. So this is about the third problem, where we obtained the distance from earth to moon using parallax method. Okay, next question, fourth one, 2.4 is as follows. The sun's angular diameter is measured to be 1920 seconds. Okay, it's directly given in seconds, so that I can convert it using the conversion factor 4.85 into 10 to the power of minus 6. So 1920 seconds. The distance d, capital D, of the sun from the earth is 1.496 into 10 to the power of 11 meter. What is the diameter of the sun? What is given? So this is sun and here is earth, and from the earth we measure the angular diameter. So it's simply the diameter, nothing else. The diameter of the angular diameter. Angular diameter is this angle. Okay, this is not parallax angle. This is angular diameter. So we keep our observation at one point and observe the two diametrically opposite points on the surface of sun, and this angle what we get is given there. Okay, so this angle given is 1920 seconds. Again we need to convert it from seconds to radians. I have to put the conversion factor, which is 4.85 into 10 to the power of minus 6 radians. Make use of calculator and hence we'll get the value of theta expressed in radians given by 9.31 into 10 to the power of minus 3 radians. 9.31 into 10 to the power of minus 3 radians. So this is the value of theta given, expressed in terms of radians. And now what we need to get is the diameter of the sun. The diameter of the sun is taken as small d, and the distance from sun or distance from the earth to sun, okay, earth to sun is given 1.496 into 10 to the power of 11. This distance itself is taken as capital D. So I can take this as theta, or I can also put this as alpha. Okay, that's fine. It's only about the symbol that we use, no problem, even if the symbol changes. Okay, don't need to worry. But again, yeah, if sometimes you might get confused about keeping theta as d is equal to dol. So let me replace it. Okay, let me take this as alpha. And the diameter this time is small d. So that small d arc length S is equal to capital D alpha. Okay. arc length is d, and that's what has to be found. So small d is equal to capital D is 1.496 into 10 to the power of 11 into what is alpha? Alpha is here in terms of radians, which is going to be 9.31 into 10 to the power of minus 3. Again, make use of calculator and multiply. So you'll get 1.39 into 10 to the power of 9 meter. 1.39 into 10 to the power of 9 meter. So this is the value of diameter of the sun. Okay, easy one. Fourth question is done. Okay, next, I am not taking 2.5 and 2.6. They are descriptive kind of questions and they are asked in CBSE board exams. So since I will be concentrating only on numerical based problems, I will not take 2.6 and 2.5 and 2.6. You read them by yourself, you will understand them, it's easy. Okay. So coming to 2.7, the question is as follows. We measure the period of oscillation of a simple pendulum. In successive measurements, the reading turn out to be 2.63 second, 2.56 second, 2.42 second, 2.771 second and 2.80 second. Calculate the absolute error, relative error and percentage error. What are these given? These are the measurements given. So we have totally 5 measurements given for the period of oscillation of simple pendulum. So let me take the value as T1 is equal to 2.63 second, T2 is equal to 2.56 second, T3 is equal to 2.42 second, T4 is equal to 2.71 second, T5 is equal to 2.80 second. Now these are the measurements given and we need to obtain the error. But how do we get the error? The values that we have here are all the measurements and no true value is given to us. So how to get the true value first? When the true value or the standard value of the measurement is not given, we need to consider the mean of the measurements. Okay? Mean of all the measurements itself has the true value. So first we should obtain the mean of all these to get the true value of the measurement, which I can call as T. So T is equal to T1 plus T2 plus T3 plus T4 plus T5 by 5. So T is equal to T1 is 2.63 plus 2.56 plus 2.42 plus 2.71 plus 2.80 whole divided by 5. Add them using the calculator and divide it by 5 so that you get the mean or the average equal to 2.62 seconds. Say, even if you do not have the calculator, you can do it just by taking the mean of these values 63, 56, 42, 71, 80. Okay, see, that's how we do 63, 56, 42 because 2 is common for all of them. What we are left with is these numbers. If you take the average of those numbers, that itself will give you the average of everything. So it's 2.62 seconds, which is the average or mean of this. Now it's about getting the errors of each measurement. So what is the error in first measurement? Error of first measurement shall be taken as delta T1, which is equal to the true value minus the measured value. Okay, it's the magnitude of that which matters. Okay, true value, magnitude of the difference between true value and the measured value itself will give us the error in that measurement. So it's going to be magnitude of T is 2.62 minus T1, which is 2.63, and magnitude of difference is 0.01 seconds. Similarly, if I solve for the second measurement, delta T2 is equal to T minus T2, which is equal to 2.62 minus 2.56. Magnitude of that. So take the difference. It's going to be, say it's 62 here, it is 56 here. So it's 62 minus 56, which is going to be 6. So 0.06 seconds. Similarly, delta 3T3, T minus T3, 2.62 minus 2.42, which is equal to 0.20 seconds. Similarly, delta T4 is equal to 0.62 minus fourth reading is 2.71, so which is going to be 0.09 second. And finally, delta T5, error in the fifth reading, T minus T5, 2.62 minus fifth reading is 2.8, so it's going to be 2.18 seconds. So these are the errors that we have here from all the readings given. So in order to, these are the absolute errors of each reading. Now what does absolute error for the entire measurement or entire experiment means? It means that we should get the mean of all these absolute errors. See, if they give simply as absolute errors, then they are intending us to get the mean of all the absolute errors. Okay, so mean of these errors, which is taken as delta T mean. Okay, mean of these errors, delta T mean is equal to delta T1 plus delta T2 plus delta T3 plus delta T4 plus delta T5 whole divided by 5. So here delta T mean, which is the mean of all the errors, is given by delta T1 plus delta T2. If we take the mean of all those, we will get the mean absolute error, which is 0.01 plus 0.06 plus 0.2 plus 0.09 plus 0.18. Okay, 0.01 plus 0.06 plus 0.2 plus 0.09 plus 0.18 whole divided by 5. This is what is delta T mean, which is the mean absolute error. Now make use of calculator and get the value of delta T mean, which is going to be 0.11 second. So this is actually 0.55. The sum is 0.55 by 5, which is 0.11 second. Okay, so this is what is the absolute error. So one of the result is found. The other two results are very simple: relative error and percentage error. How to get what is the expression for relative error? Relative error, okay, is the mean absolute ratio of mean absolute error delta t mean to that of the true value. Okay, the mean absolute error to the true value, that will give us the relative error. What is delta t mean? Delta t mean is 0.11. What is the true value? 2.62. Make use of calculators and simplify so that you will get the mean absolute, the relative error. You get that, okay? It's just the relative error which is required here, the ratio. Divide them using the calculator and you will get, keep the value as it is without any unit, okay, without any unit. And the percentage error is very simple. Percentage error is equal to relative error into 100, okay. So here we will have the relative error, you multiply that with 100 and express it in percentage, that's it. So and so percentage is the percentage error of the calculation. And now when it comes to expressing the final absolute error, the way in which we should express is the true value plus or minus mean absolute error. So the true value is or the complete measurement of the complete value for the given measurement, given set of measurements, is given by t is equal to 2.62, which is the true value, plus or minus error should be kept. Now what is the error that we have? Error that we have is 0.11 second. Look at this. If I add 0.11 to this 2.62, okay, it's plus or minus always, which we consider. It's going to be 2.73, and if I subtract it, it's going to be 2.51. So the value of the actual value of the measurement can vary from 2.51 to 2.73. And what we find here is the first decimal, okay, the first decimal place itself has error in it. So it can be 5 or it can be 7. Following? The first decimal place of the measurement or of the range of the measurement after applying the error is 5 here and 7 here, which is varying from 5 to 7. So see, when the first decimal itself is varying this much from 5 to 7, so the second decimal, the variation in the second decimal is least bothered. Following? The first decimal place itself is varying that value from 2.5 to 2.7. So the second decimal is not that significant. So what we'll do is we'll neglect the 0.11 and the second decimal point or second decimal value of the error, and we'll only keep one decimal place. Okay, so this makes the complete value of the measurement 2.62 plus or minus 0.1 second, where 0.1 is the error and 0.1 second is the error, 2.62 is the true value, and that's how we express it. Following? Yeah, even for the relative error we can only consider 0.1 by 2.62. Okay, I hope you got the idea why we neglected the second decimal place, because now the value can vary from 2.5 to 2.7. That's huge variation when we compare it to 2.51 to 2.73. So that second decimal place is afterwards. There is huge variation here itself from 2.5 to 2.7. 2.51 to 2.73, the second decimal place doesn't matter much. So we avoid using the second decimal place of the error, and we'll keep it only 0.1 second. Okay. So this is about the fifth question actually, example 2.57. Okay, the next question 2.8 is as follows. The temperatures of two bodies measured by a thermometer are T1 is equal to 20 degrees Celsius plus or minus 0.5 degrees Celsius. What do you mean by this? The temperature is 20 degrees Celsius measured, but it has an error of 0.5 degrees Celsius. Okay, that's why the total value is 20 degrees Celsius plus or minus 0.5 degrees Celsius. It can also be expressed as 20 plus or minus 0.5 degrees Celsius together. That's also fine. So T1 is this, T2 is 50 degrees Celsius plus or minus 0.5 degrees Celsius. Calculate the temperature difference and the error therein. So what we need to calculate is temperature difference, which is T2 minus T1. It's when I take the simple values, it's going to be very simple. The difference of temperature shall be taken as delta T. Myself has taken this symbol, no need to worry about it. So delta T is T2 minus T1. What is T2? T2 is 50, T1 is 20. So 50 minus 20 is 30 degree Celsius. But this doesn't make the complete value of the measurement of the difference. This is delta T or temperature difference. Okay. Let me not take this as delta T, because we normally represent delta T for the error. So let me take this as T dash, okay, which is the actual temperature difference. But see, here we have delta T1, error in the first measurement, which is 0.5 degrees Celsius. We also have delta T2, which is the error in the second measurement, which is also 0.5 degrees Celsius. What we need to calculate is the error, the total error in the difference of the temperatures. Okay, difference of the temperature, which is delta T dash. So we all know that whether it is addition of two measurements or the subtraction of two measurements, we always add the errors to get the final error of the calculation. So this is the difference of two readings. So when we have either sum or difference of two readings, delta T dash is given by delta T1 plus delta T2. The errors always add up, whether it is addition or subtraction. Delta T1 is 0.5 plus delta T2 is also 0.5. Together, delta T dash will become 0.1 second. So this is the total error in the difference of the measurement. Okay, even if we add the measurements, even then it's going to remain the same. The error is going to be 0.1 second itself. So the final value of the difference shall be written as delta T dash is, T dash is 30 degree Celsius plus or minus 0.1 degree Celsius. Okay, because T1 has an error of 0.1, 0.5 degrees Celsius. T2 has an error of 0.5 degrees Celsius. I'm sorry, here it is not 0.5 plus 0.5 is 1, not 0.1. Okay, 1 degree Celsius. Sorry, 1 degree Celsius. Even here it is 1 degree Celsius. So here we have two measurements, T1 and T2. T1 has an error of 0.5 degrees Celsius, T2 has an error of 0.5 degrees Celsius. The difference of those two readings will have the measure error which is equal to sum of the errors, which is 1 degree Celsius. Okay, and this is the final value of the difference of the given temperatures.